Several years ago, the Luxor temple in Egypt was being reconstructed. During the construction work, scientists discovered a treasure trove of ancient coins. The coinage was in Latin, suggesting that they came here with Roman traders, but it was not so much their provenance that attracted the attention of the researchers, but rather the coin that stood out strongly from the rest. On this coin, one could see a humanoid with an irregularly shaped head. The skull was pulled back, huge eyes slanted to the temples, and the cheeks were retracted. A perfect alien. Coins that seemed to depict flying saucers were not ignored either. Some of the coins date from 1656. Most of them have a minted phrase in Latin that translates as "perhaps it will be the present." Pretty mysterious. But skeptics deny all possibilities implying contact with extraterrestrial visitors. They argue that the coins depict a shield, and a specific person, the Roman Emperor Numa, who, according to legends, was guarded by the gods. But does that explain why the shield floats in the clouds? It is interesting that the very concept of money originated around 7 BC. But what exactly caused ancient kings to mint coins from gold remains a mystery. Why did shells, grains, and animals cease to suit them as payment? Why at some point did coins made of metal become better than something you could eat? Today, for example, some wild tribes still have no idea about such a phenomenon as money. And you can imagine, they don't feel any disadvantage. Where civilization came to today, back in the 15th century they used fish instead of coins. Fish, furs, animals and other things suitable for exchange required no security or legal backing. Goods themselves were the carriers of the equivalent of value. Researchers put forward the version that money, if it was an ingenious invention, was only a tool for manipulation. After all, the entire global financial system is designed to drive entire countries into credit slavery. But who is behind all this? Who is spinning this flywheel? And what does this have to do with the ancient coins, which depict aliens and UFOs? In 1936, the legendary Fort Knox Vault was built in the United States. In the beginning the gold of simple Americans was stored here, then for some reason most countries of the planet for some reason believed that the U.S., a reliable keeper for their gold reserves. Americans themselves explain this by the high level of protection, which even Swiss banks cannot boast. 30,000 connected people are guarding 30,000 tons of gold. It takes at least 1,000 trucks to transport that much precious metal. However, many researchers believe that there is no gold there. After all, it is very strange to spend a huge amount of money just to keep gold dusty and not bring income. Proceeding from this, the countries burying their gold in the bowels of the Federal Reserve System look like Pinocchio. And there is no way they can get the gold back. By the way, Scott Alvarez, the representative of the Federal Reserve System, said directly that they do not have any gold since 1934. What is the meaning of this? I do not know. Along with this raises another question: where did it disappear to? An interesting fact is that about 2,000 tons are mined per year. 500 goes to jewelry, 200 to medicine and technology. But where does the rest disappear to? Another fact: after the 9/11 terrorist attack, the U.S. establishment told its people that all the gold in the Twin Towers had been pulverized. As it happens, our civilization cannot exist without iron, copper, bronze, silver. These metals are used far more often than gold. But it was gold that started most wars and crimes. So why did we choose it as the most valuable substance? The word gold alone evokes associations with wealth. I don't really have an answer to all these questions. There is only a fantastic conjecture, which I highlighted on one of the forums. Almost every day today you can see UFOs in the sky. Why do not they come down to us? Maybe squeamishness, or maybe they prefer to deal with the higher people represented by the government. It is much easier to deal with a small handful of people who rule the entire planet than to manipulate 8 billions at once. But what are they flying in for? Obviously, gold. Those UFOs we see are their cargo ships just taking deliveries. And if that's true, then I only have one question: what are they giving them in return? Technology? Or is it much simpler and we are just allowed to live? Either way, the common people will